Basham, and this is Carlisle's Chesapeake. Today we're here with Dennis Gasper. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you very much.
We're here at the Pickering Creek Audubon Center, and you're the president of the Chesapeake Bay Herb Society. Could you tell us about the society and the garden here?
Sure. Our garden the Chesapeake Bay group started about 18 years ago, and it started with Lou Russell in her kitchen in Easton, Maryland. And we drew quite a few people who were interested in growing herbs. And we came out to Pickering Creek, which is north of Easton, Maryland. And we have a wonderful display garden where we have 14 raised beds with different themes to them. And we come out here on Monday morning to prune the gardens, and we invite anyone in the public to join us in the morning. We're usually here between 8 or 8:30. And if anyone is interested, they can contact me. And again, my name is Dennis, and my best number is 410-310-8437. And I'd love the opportunity to talk to you about herbs, and if maybe you want to join our group.
And right? Why herbs, Dennis? What's so important about herbs?
Well, I love the herbs mostly because of cooking. And there's just different herbs that we have here, and I just enjoy the culinary part of growing herbs with organically. And it's just a treat. It's a nice way to spend your afternoon or your morning tending to the gardens.
Well, I must admit that I have become a member of your Chesapeake Herb Society and have really enjoyed the monthly meetings that you sponsor.
Right.
Could you tell us about them, please?
Sure. We meet every second Thursday in Easton at the Episcopal Church, Christ Church, at 6 o'clock. And we have a themed dinner.
Evening.
In the evening, yes. And we have a themed dinner where we just have a social hour or so with meeting new members in the group, and then we sit down and have supper. And then afterwards we have a guest speaker that'll talk about the subject of the day.
And two of the meetings that stick out in my mind, one was about lavender,
right,
and the other one was Cleo Braver talking about Cottingham Farm and the importance of no pesticides in our food chain. So
Sure.
Do you want to talk about those, please?
Sure. Well, the lavender has just always been dear to my heart because there's some really wonderful lavender farms that are in the area, and they just have a great fragrance to it. If you figure out, or if you can Google lavender wands, they just make great potpourri in for your drawers or something along those lines. So it's just a treat. I don't cook that much with lavender. You can make lavender ice cream, but that's about the extent of it. But it just has great fragrance to it.
Well, I grew lavender for the first time this year, and I actually dried some and then put it in my granola. Mm-hmm. And lavender is supposed to be a relaxing medication, if you will.
Right. And in the Victorian days, they used to take your bed sheets and they'd lay it over lavender bushes and dry it in the sun.
Oh my gosh.
And it would just enhance a really good night's sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So I'm not quite there yet. But,
okay, well, how about this last meeting that you had with the gourds and making bird houses?
Correct. They're dry gourds, and the birds will use those. So you put them in your garden, keep the mosquitoes away, and it's just a nice way of enhancing your garden by growing them, drying them, opening up for the birds to get in and out, and put drain holes in the bottom if any water accumulates, and it just adds a little personality to your garden.
Well, not only that, but I use the gourd to put above our our front door because birds want to nest there. So instead of their nesting, I put a gourd there.
Right. Yeah. It works out great.
Yeah.
So. Good.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for sharing.
Thank you.
Did you know? MCTV programming is available online. Find our shows like Rabbi's Roundtable, Carlisle's Chesapeake, The Shameless Picture Show, Conversations with Sherry, and the Avalon Theater Presents at youtube.com/Midshore Community Television.
Hi, Dana.
Hi, Carlisle. Nice to see you again here out at the garden.
Out at the garden here at Pickering Creek.
Yes.
The Chesapeake Herb Society's garden that you so diligently have been a member of, but have worked so hard to make so beautiful. So you're going to give us a tour now.
I am. I've been part of the horticulture committee for the full 16 years that the garden has been out here, And we work out here, as Dennis said before, every Monday morning and Thursday afternoons. And I just want to point out a few of the plants that we enjoy having here. First, at the entrance to the garden is this cypress vine. And we save the seeds over the winter. One of our members plants the seeds, gets them started. And then we start it, it's very, very little when we started at the beginning, but it grows up to this beautiful accent piece. And the hummingbirds love the little bright red trumpet-shaped flowers that are on it. So it's a real pretty plant. So a couple of other ones I want to show you. We have 2 spinaches. This is called a Malabar spinach, and it is edible. I don't think you want to eat the great big large leaves now, but these tendrils that come out, the new little leaves are absolutely delicious. I add them to salad. I have one of these at home, and so I'm picking the younger leaves all the time.
Excuse me, Dana, could I interrupt for a second?
Of course.
Could you say Malabar? Could you spell that for us, please?
Malabar.
And did you start this by seed, or did you buy it as a plant?
We bought this as a plant. We have found, new to us, a nursery in Milton, Delaware that has some very unusual plants, and this is where we found this. We had it last year, and we loved it so much we're doing it again this year. It is on a trellis that's underneath there holding it together. And as you can see, it will go and trap anything it can. We've kept these dill plants that have now gone to seed. We've kept them here just for architectural interest.
I know, they're wonderful.
But the Malabar spinach has gone over and trapped the dill. It is going down onto this other spinach. This is a Ceylon spinach, Ceylon. It is not a true spinach, but for whatever reason it is called that. It is also edible in salads. The smaller leaves are really delicious.
So this can be eaten raw. You wouldn't have to cook this.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, we have eaten it out here at the garden, just bunched on a leaf or two. But it's putting out these beautiful pink flowers.
Yes, they're lovely.
Yeah. So another thing I want to point out are Basil Bed.
And we're walking on this gravel path. Is there a reason why it's graveled?
It keeps the weeds down. It's also, we think it's very natural looking. Mm-hmm. So that was our choice. The garden is designed in a maze. There are no straight lines, and we did that on purpose. You slow down, slowly walk through the garden, enjoy it, smell it, enjoy all the fragrances of the various herbs. So it's definitely a relaxing place to be. Our basil bed, I think we have probably 8 to 10 varieties of basil that are in here. They've been doing beautifully this year. This is just the regular Genovese basil that is probably the best basil for cooking, but all of these can be used for cooking. And in fact, if you come out and visit the garden at Pickering Creek, please feel free to come take a few snips of various plants. When we are out here Monday mornings, we trim back the basil, the little flowers off of it every single week. And we tend to just throw them away because most of us have basil in our own beds at home. So please feel free to come out, and there's plenty. Snipping it makes the plant grow better and branching, so it's actually good for it to be snipped. So please do come out and enjoy it. And I also want to go over to our bee and butterfly garden.
You have a sign here that says pizza, Dana. Could you tell us?
Sure. Okay.
Pizza is an herb?
Well, herbs go into pizzas. Pretty much, everything that's in here can go onto a pizza. We have peppers. We have, this is another spinach, actually. Not sure it goes on pizza, but it's down there. That one is called Good King Henry spinach. Crazy name, but that's the name of it. We have more basil here. Chives.
Beautiful chives.
Yeah, these are garlic chives. They're the ones with the flat stems, or almost like a square stem as opposed to round. And they bloom this time of the year. These, as you can perhaps see the butterfly there.
Yes.
These garlic chive flowers draw every kind of critter that you can imagine. They're just beautiful, beautiful plants. So, but also for the pizza, it's very small still, but we do have a tomato plant back there. So that's part of our pizza. And over in the pollinator bed, which I will walk around, this is the tea bed. Everything planted in here can be used for making tea. It's generally the leaves, but occasionally the flower or the roots. But we pretty much have the ones that the leaves are used for making tea. We have catmint.
Now that
Mint.
you can make tea out of catmint.
Yes.
Catmint.
Catmint. Yes, you
Yes.
can make tea out of it. And we have hyssop. There certainly is hyssop tea. This is a blue hyssop. It also comes in pinks and various different shades of blue. This is an agastache, which the leaves can be used for tea also. It's a very pretty pinky orangey flower on this one. We have thyme. The bee balm is pretty much finished now, but certainly bee balm and the Indians, Oswego tea, I think is the name of the tea that the Indians used, but that was made from the bee balm plant.
Wonderful.
A lot of things in here. This is our pollinator bed. Variety of colorful plants, mainly need them to bloom for the pollinators. But again, as you can see, there are little critters flying everywhere around this garden.
Oh, the bees are very happy this morning.
Yeah, this is an anise hyssop that blooms the entire summer. This is a chaste tree. We also have another chaste tree over in our...
Now that's a
near the
native
entrance.
plant.
It is a native plant, yes.
Yes.
Vitex is its
Yep.
botanical name. And we have a phlox. This is another anise hyssop that is just about finished.
I'll give a
But,
shout out for the chase tree. I bought a Vitex at the Hammond Harwood House in Annapolis.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. This has the same growth habits as what is commonly called the butterfly bush.
Uh-huh.
And so it wants to be a very tall tree, but you can keep this at any height that you want to, which we're going to. Once it's finished blooming or in the fall, we will cut this way back. We'll probably cut it back medium now, same with the one at the entrance. But next, late February, early March, we'll come back and probably put this down to knee height. And then it will grow to this height again.
That's an interesting point that you make, Dana. Having a tree that you're pruning so that it's more like a shrub, it gives you a lot of bang for your buck.
Exactly.
Without having to buy a whole bunch of individual plants.
Right. It also, you can make it fit the space you have. If you don't have space for a tall tree and you have space for a bush and you want the same growing habits and the flowers that it has, and again, it draws the pollinators in, Vitex is a great choice.
Well, thank you so much.
Plant. You're quite welcome. And I encourage everybody to come out and visit the garden. We'd love to see you here and then just come out and enjoy it. Next month you stand back here and...
Can you explain, you guys, the relevance of where you're standing and the sundial, please?
This is an anonemmatic sundial, and it has a vertical gnomon, and in this case, the person is the gnomon, and so it's the apparent movement of the sun against that makes the shadow against the gnomon or the person in this case. And it depends upon the time of the year where the sun and the earth are aligning. So Spencer Garrett, one of our Herb Society members, and in fact he's currently the horticulture chairman for our garden.
And a past president.
He has designed this based on engineering and scientific coordinates, etc., to be exactly pointed in the right direction and the stones and markers exactly the right distance apart from each other. But depending upon the time of year, the point where the gnomon begins varies. So as the year goes on, I would be stepping backwards and the shadow would be going earlier. Whereas today is August 24th, and I would stand approximately here based on the markings on these stones, and my shadow is falling at 9 a.m. or Eastern Standard Time or 10 a.m. Daylight Savings Time, which it is, and it's within 15 minutes. If I moved, maybe my feet just moved. Now it's perfect. But it's a great tool. It's great for kids to come out and see it and think about it. See what the relationship is between the sun, the shadow, and the time of day.
So if they don't have their Rolexes on or their Fitbits.
Cell phones. Their cell phones is what they're looking at. Exactly, yeah. And we have various types of thyme, THYME, planted in the corners around the sundial, which we think is rather appropriate.
Thank you.